between two or more individuals, because this time around we have heard of what's that term? Yeah, threesomes, what. So all those people who were in a relationship and they were due to get married. And then this woman apparently, she had a sneaky link. So whatever happened these days with this filming and everything, what is. So he filmed the audio and then published leaked the video deliberately. That marriage never took off.
Something that we have feelings in for each other in. So rules in any kind of sneaky link arrangement are what keeps them sustained. I was watching a girl who was talking about how sneaky link relationships are the healthiest kind of relationships, and people are happier because when you have a relationship where you're about to get... Thank you so much for joining us to yet another episode of the Before Marriage podcast. My name is Ensart Lungu and my guest for today is Sililo Kayunga. I have to look because wrong pronunciations of people's names. No. But before we get into our topic for today, shout out to the deck. Thank you so much for allowing us to use your premises to shoot our episodes and Pitch Beauty Services for doing my makeup. Butchered it, but yamve can pitch beauty services, my mvela. All right, now we'll be getting into today's topic, which is sneaky links. But before we get into that, Zamvela introduction, Mr. Sililo Kayunga.
Okay, thank you for hosting me. And yes, my name, as you have rightly put it, is Sililo Kayunga. I was born and raised in Lusaka. I'm a father of 3, 2 boys and a girl. Was married before, not anymore.
You look like you're almost laughing as you're saying that. Now it's raising a lot of questions, but please finish the introduction.
Yes, because when you're married before and then not anymore, there might be a follow-up question.
There always is. Like, is it because of a divorce? Is it because they died? There's factors that lead to those things. So, yeah, but we need to finish the introduction before we get into those questions.
Yes, so I work for the Zambian government. Yes, and then I went to school at Kablonga Boys. I currently a diploma holder in transport and logistics management. Yes, and then some time back I worked in construction. But currently I'm working for the government of the Republic of Zambia.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, are you okay with telling us now, answering the follow-up questions to the was married but not anymore?
Nah, you can shoot.
Then also the question that comes to mind is, okay, so first of all, is it divorced or widowed or
so
separation?
it's divorced.
No, okay.
Yes,
were you the reason for the divorce? Or what happened?
It takes 2 to tango, so I can't really put all the blame on me. I think it was an issue that both parties were involved. If we fail to resolve an issue, we can't completely take the blame on the other person or the other individual.
Yeah.
So it was something maybe
mutual.
You failed maybe to reach compromise.
So the what happened with the children? Are they staying with the mother or the father, or they alternate?
They alternate, yes. They live in both camps.
Okay.
Yes,
so
and then there's no bad blood with my ex-wife. So when you find us together, you might think that we are still together.
Oh,
yes.
You remind me of that couple that went to divorce court with matching suits as if they're going to a changamulilo.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you were married before, you loved that person before. So if the marriage doesn't work, you shouldn't become enemies. I think more especially if the union brought forth children. So.
I have a lot of questions, but it's going to take all the time that we have for this podcast. I hope you come back so that we can talk about that particularly, but also not just like you specifically, but with other people too, like other people's experiences as well, because these are things that people go through and then fail to address. I've got a specific topic for you regarding that, by the way, so I'll tell you after we finish. But for today, we're talking about sneaky links.
Oh, sneaky links. Yes, I've heard about that.
Okay, what have you heard about sneaky links?
So sneaky links, it's more common, more especially when you look at social media on social media and everything. So sneaky links, what I know about sneaky links, it's leadership. All those things, I think, emanate from issues to do with sneaky links. So a sneaky link is a relationship that is more to do with a sexual relationship, but no strings attached. Sometimes they can be exchange of value, maybe money here and there. Yes, so that's what, but it's a secret thing. It has to be done underground where just the two people maybe involved will know.
Hence the term sneaky.
Sneaky link,
I like
yes.
the underground aspect of it. It's like, don't tell anyone. This
Yeah.
one, Nyapa black market, you don't tell
Yes, yes,
anyone.
yes.
Now, one thing I'm curious about is how sneaky links start. Like, what determines, like, okay, nzambira partner say, oh, okay, nfuna nkale sneaky link wanga, because I know that it's whether you're married, in any kind of relationship, engaged, or even if you're single, you can have a sneaky link too.
Yes, yes.
Now, I just wonder where they start from. Like,
So I think what I think about how they start, I think it's about number one, attraction. Because I can't make someone a sneaky link who I'm not attracted to.
so attraction, physical attraction, na when I'm going to sapiosexual, where I'm attracted to your mind and how you think. But so there's different kinds of attraction.
Yes, so it could be, I think, all those factors. I think how somebody speaks, like some people, it's just to fulfill their fetish desires. Like I need someone maybe slim, or not somebody who is it chubby?
Chubby.
Yes, Mazdum. Yes, but you can't keep them as in a relationship. But you want to have a feel of somebody who is chubby, but keeping them as your person. No. So you want it to be running underground. Hence sneaky links.
So this is like, I decide, for example, someone decides that they don't want a commitment to this person. Maybe they've met by chance, maybe even if it's in a bar, nightclub, or kunchito, or they've just met in the street, they've exchanged my phone numbers, and then you just decide that, uyunifuna zinkaranga secret.
Yeah, it starts like that. Maybe you can meet, maybe sometimes even bump into each other, like by accident. Boom. Oh, sorry. Who are you? These days communication is easy with the coming in of mobile phones, social media, so it's easy to communicate where everyone else doesn't know that those people are communicating.
Right.
People exchange phone numbers maybe via Facebook. You just what do that? You DM?
Yes,
DM them.
DM me.
Yes, DM me your digits.
Yes.
Then it starts from there.
Now, I have heard instances of people that say, okay, so this scenario is people who is in a committed relationship, engaged or whatever, otherwise. Yeah. So their partner has someone on the side, a sneaky link, they're sneaking around. And I've heard people say that actually helps to sustain the main relationship.
No, that's a lie.
The explanation, sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
The explanation there is that because maybe they have some pressure and whatnot, and because they can't speak to their wife about that thing, because as that maybe their wife is going to react a certain way, they need someone else to offload to. So they have the sneaky link who is like, they don't have much attachment, no commitments to each other. They meet on occasion for sex, and then from there, at least the man comes from there feeling refreshed and whatnot, and then goes home happy. As opposed to if he hadn't met the sneaky link who would have made him happy, then meaning that semaenda kunyumba fuming, looking for faults anyway. So in that sense, people say it helps the man relieve some kind of pressure that would have otherwise caused fights at home. Sometimes even the problems caused by the wife. He goes to sneak the sneaky link, his mind is refreshed, and then goes back to the wife, all forgiven, no problems, argument done.
So that if somebody gives that explanation, it means they are not telling the truth.
They're not telling?
Yes, it's just that they are being selfish. If I'm married and then I've got issues, if I can't address those issues with my wife, like whatever kind of issues, it means I'm not being sincere with my wife. Or if my wife to be, in this case where before you get married, we need to lay everything like bare. I need to be open with my personal person who I'm looking forward to getting married. But if I start involving sneaky links, it means that's like a breeding ground for disaster. Whether you like it or not, there's nothing that is hidden under the sun. Unless if you tell me that sneaky link will be maybe a once off, but if it prolongs, maybe it goes beyond 3 months, 4 months, sometimes somebody might catch feelings. And then what happens now to the sneaky link? Yes, in the beginning you might agree, no feelings attached, blah, 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 blah. But because of the times now that you share, and mind you, if you start getting intimate with someone, you're having a sexual relationship with someone, no matter it's a sneaky link, you might get attached to that person. You, the person or the initiator of the sneaky link, maybe you can be okay, but the other person might get attached. If you have a fiancé, the other person might want the fiancé to know that, okay, I need to have this person all to myself. Then now it will be a disaster. Things to do with maybe you want to maybe reduce the pressure that you're facing. It could be a bit true psychologically, maybe, or maybe not. Or sometimes it could start from, people who are brought up religiously. Most religions, more especially maybe I can say Christianity, Islam, they don't allow sex before marriage. But here is someone who is in a relationship, and then the woman tells him, no, me, not touching me until you make me your wife. But here's this other guy who says maybe he's already sexually active. Or it could be the other way around. The man is very religious, saying, I'm not going to touch my woman until we marry. But the woman is already sexually active. She'll find a sneaky link to satisfy that desire. Or the man might find a sneaky link to satisfy that desire. The issue now comes in when they are discovered. It means if they were planning to get married, things won't work, because broken trust, yes, I tell you.
So if they're not discovered, though, it means that it's working well in sort of helping to fuel the relationship that they're sustaining, because then the man is no longer troubling the woman who doesn't want to be touched, or vice versa, and is no longer forcing the person to say, okay, I'm not going to force you to sleep with me, but then keeping to himself to say, I know how I'm going to keep myself. And then one of the two has been, they're engaged and going to get married, and then one of the two finds someone to sustain his sexual needs, so that he doesn't bother the person that so that they don't bother the person that they're getting married to. So then I'm just wondering, like, that it looks like then the sneaky link is helping, or the sneaky link arrangement is helping sustain this relationship that is meant to be serious.
Yeah, so that can happen, but I'm sure you might recall. I've just forgotten the year, but there was something that happened. People who were in a relationship and they were due to get married, and then this woman apparently, she had a sneaky link. So whatever happened these days with this filming and everything, what is going on, you find that a week before their wedding, unknowingly, the sneaky link filmed their ordeal. So as she was now going to get married, the sneaky link, I'm sure it started from maybe the sneaky link had grown some feelings, and he knew that this lady now, once she gets married, maybe I'll be cut off. So he filmed the audio and then published leaked the video deliberately. That marriage never took off. It ended in tears for the poor lady. But it was maybe she wanted to be satisfied, or maybe trying to show the man she was getting married to that she was pure, when in fact not, you see? So that's the downside of the sneaky links.
But then a sneaky link there are rules to these things.
Yes, there are rules, but rules are made to be broken. People break rules.
So some of the rules that I have heard in some examples, I've actually heard people who give themselves rules, like if they decide to have a sneaky link arrangement,
yes,
they have rules that they know that they have to follow. If any one of the rules is broken or looks like it's about to be broken, then they dissolve that. It's like the arrangement is off. And one of the main rules you did mention in the definition to say no feelings attached.
No feelings attached.
No. So this is no. Like a sneaky link is someone you're not committed to in any way. You can decide not to answer their phone and whatnot. That's a sneaky link. So no feelings are supposed to be involved.
Yeah.
No other person is supposed to know about the arrangement. It's almost no expectations. So and some of them give rules to say, if you are catching feelings, or if you feel like you're about to start catching feelings, you have to say, so that we dissolve this thing, because I'm not about to have fall in love with somebody. And these are the rules that they give to say, if you catch feelings, this is done. We can't continue. So that instance in that example, meaning that either there were no proper rules that were set before that relationship started, or somewhere along the way they neglected the rules. And just like you did say, and it's inevitable that at least one person will fall in love.
Yes, might cross that line, yes.
But you can tell though. So in the instance that the guy decided to break the rules, or didn't say, if there were rules to say, imagine if there was a law to say, if you start to fall in love, let me know, then we can dissolve this thing. Or we can decide on the next course forward. Because sometimes, sneaky link, you tell them to say, oh, I'm falling in love with you. And then maybe the other person is also falling in love with you. You have a discussion to say, okay, so then what are we going to do now? Then you decide to say, okay, are we going to now turn this into a relationship, or are we going to dissolve it because we can't have something that we have feelings in for each other in? So rules in any kind of sneaky link arrangement are what keeps them sustained. I was watching a girl who was talking about how sneaky link relationships are the healthiest kind of relationships, and people are happier because when you have a relationship where you're about to get married, first of all, you have to watch your behavior. Like, I can't behave a certain way in front of my fiance.
Yeah.
I can't say certain things in front of my fiance. And I have to make sure that everything I do, it's perfect.
Everything is well put. That is faking.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that is faking. So that's where my argument now comes in, like in my opinion. Once you have a sneaky link, as I earlier stated, it's a breeding ground for disaster. I can't feel what you feel. You can't feel what I feel. Of course, when it's starting, there are laid down rules, like lines you shouldn't cross. But once the other person starts like catching feelings, how do you tell that this other person is catching feelings? They'll hide it because they know. Sometimes maybe out of that sneaky link, maybe you go out in a hidden place, maybe drinks are shared here and there. You enjoy the benefits of that sneaky link relationship. And then you start feeling like, no, I think maybe I can keep this person. And then the other person doesn't know that that is what you're thinking. It will end in disaster. So I think it's just these days, there are these cultures that are now being brought up to the surface, because the issue to do with sneaky links is not a new phenomenon. It's something that has been there since time immemorial, since people started having relationships. It's just that this time around, it's being done on scale because of the ease of communication.
No, people pretending. I think people pretend to keep relationships. I'm sure you've seen couples who are even married, when they're with their, especially Muboma, where you're talking amongst your colleagues, Kunchito, Zadabwa, when the spouse of one of them comes, they behave differently. They start talking differently. But when they leave, the things you talk about are completely different things. So isn't that all pretending? And then now, that probably means that because with a sneaky link, you can talk about all the nasty things. They won't mind. Because they're a sneaky link, you have no reason to fear them. So don't you think then that it's better that I'm with this person, my sneaky link, whom I'm not pretending when I'm around, kuchira mkazi wanga kunyumba, or my husband at home, or the fiancé I'm getting married to, whom I have to suffocate in order for me to sustain this.
So if that's how a relationship is going to be run, like when I'm with you, we are in a relationship, I'm pretending, you're also pretending, because you want it to look like it's a perfect thing. The way I talk to you, maybe I'll be low, but when I'm talking to my sneak link, I'll even be using like dirty language. You see, that same dirty language. If don't you think that if I transfer it now to our relationship, it can spice things up? Because there, there are things that are supposed to be done, maybe with the person you are in a relationship with. Everything you're doing with your sneaky link, if you can move them to your relationship, that is, if you are considering marriage, it can help you in your marriage. But if you keep your stuff, let's say a woman is keeping stuff from her husband or a husband to be, but all those things that she's keeping, she's giving to the sneaky link, it will mean there will be problems in the marriage. Don't you think that maybe if they bring those things in their marriage, the things that are making them go and sneak outside, why can't you introduce them in the marriage or in the relationship? That can work. The only point where I feel like I think like sneaky link can work. When I say it can work, I don't like endorse it because it's a bad thing. It's because in situations where religious issues come in, because the other person maybe is sexually active, or both parties are sexually active, but they are hiding. You see the danger of hiding. They are hiding it, saying no sex before marriage. But with their sneaky link, everything is happening. This other guy is thinking that, oh, my woman is pure. Or the woman thinks that, oh, my guy is pure. At the end of the day, they end up now satisfying their desires with their sneaky link. That's the only time that maybe it can make sense, but it's not an endorsement. Whether you like it or not, sneaky links are not good. Moreover, I think I read something, where it's also a danger to an individual, because what you used to see with your sneaky link, and then if you end up getting married, you don't see them. Sometimes we are poor at communication. You don't want to communicate to your partner that maybe can we try out this. Somebody might be saying, hey, we try this. You see, it might bring problems. So sneaky links, they are not good.
Yeah.
That's my take. Yes.
Okay. Well, even David in the Bible snuck around with Bathsheba before he married her. So, anyway, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying sometimes.
Talking of David has got some very, very, very funny stories. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the same Bible prophet who sent a soldier to go to war, and then he left the wife, and then he started misbehaving with the wife.
That was the wife. That was Bathsheba.
That's the same Bathsheba.
Yes,
Oh.
that was because so he slept with Bathsheba and then told and then Bathsheba said, "I'm pregnant." And then she told David that she was pregnant. And then David, now wanting to pin the pregnancy on the girl's husband, after Babwerako holiday kangono, briefly the soldiers told the husband to say, go home and be with your wife. So he wanted the husband to go and sleep with the wife so that it looks like the baby is for the husband. But the husband was very committed to the king. And then he said, no, I can't. I'm going to be here with the rest of my soldiers. Palas nikumishita chanu kumfaka ku battle front line na kumpai some guys.
You see, the results of sneaky links.
Well, that was like, okay, but they ended up getting married anyways. So sadly, the man died. I think that was one of the most unfair deaths in the Bible, I can say. But
yeah, so
anyways,
that's the downside, the big downside of sneaky links.
And David is one of God's
David
favorites.
caught feelings. He went against the rules.
True. That's true though. But I know Solomon had like
those were not sneaky links.
No, but then the thing is, okay, how do we know if he didn't have sneaky links? Because he had like concubines and wives. How do we know that there were no secret relationships there as well? There's no way for us to know.
There's no way for us to know. I presume Solomon was a sweet talker, because he was, I think he should be considered one of the most intelligent,
he was
wisest men who has ever lived. So it was
Yes.
easy
have,
To trap
and he had
ladies.
them.
Yes.
No, but then he had the money as well.
Yes,
He had the
it's not just the
money.
money. You need to have game.
Okay,
Yes.
so you can have. Some women, the money is the game.
No, it's not.
Some women, the money, like
no,
they'll just see the money and they'll be like, I don't
no,
care. He has
no,
money.
no, it's not like that. You need to
Okay.
have game. Yes.
Okay.
Because the same issue to do with sneak links. It's not all about the money. It's about game. And maybe, desire when somebody, maybe some lady looks at some guy says, but it's something like that. Yes. So there won't be any money exchanged. So if they
But,
end up making
yeah.
that, yes.
So the example you gave, others are some women are freaky in bed, and then you have somebody that's not, like you're married to somebody or getting married to somebody that you know isn't. Wouldn't you be tempted to take on to keep the person, the freaky person? Also considering, like you said, if you tell your woman to do that she's going to ask
Yeah, so that's the danger. That's why a relationship, for it to work, they need to be like openness, like open, so that your needs are met, and then your partner's needs are also met. But if you are not free, maybe you're scared that your partner will start asking you like, where did you learn this? Anyway, to be sad on your part, because they will start going where they are shown those things.
And also, a sneaky link won't ask you that, where did you learn this? If you tell a sneaky link, look, I think the thing with sneaky links is you can explore everything, things that people are scared to talk about in actual relationships. With a sneaky link, you can say, okay, look, I want to try something. And then you can try all those things. Or you can even show her or him a video and say, let's try this. And then you can try that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to try, like, you do all those things. And those are things that people in actual relationships don't do.
So that's why now my take is that people in actual relationships, they should now transition to start doing those things that are supposed to be done by sneaky links, so that we cut this thing of sneak links, because it's a danger to fruitful relationships. Yes.
Okay. But what if your partner is okay? If the example that I gave, like, okay, the sneaky link is okay. Let me give this a practical example of this stories that I've actually heard. A woman calls her husband's sneaky link, and then she tells her to say, she calls her and then she tells her to say, do you have any plans? Or like, so the first of all, the initial will be like, maybe the sneaky link will think, oh, this woman is about to shout at me. But then she says, no, I'm not shouting at you. Actually, I'm asking you, can you keep this man busy between this day and that day? Because I want to also be busy with my other things as well. Can you keep him? So in that instance, like, both of them think they're keeping a secret from each other, but then both of them, maybe they know, but then they haven't talked about it, and both of them think it's a secret. So if they decided that, if such a couple decided to come together and open up and say, okay, it's okay, we can do this, you can have your sneaky link and I have my sneaky link, how damaging can that get?
It is damaging, but this time around, I'm sure you have heard of the trend of open relationships.
Yes.
Yes, like I can see whoever I want to see, you can see whoever you want to see, but ours is a special relationship.
But in that aspect, it's like there's like there could be other multiple people that you could be seeing, as opposed to just the one sneaky link that you sneak around with.
Yeah, it's a possibility, yes. Because for it to be a sneaky link, mind you, no one should know about it. Once somebody knows about it, it stops being a sneaky link.
Yeah.
Yes. So maybe you might find yourself agreeing that maybe we'll be the two of us to this lady, or we'll be the two of us to this man. So it ends now being a sneaky link. Because if somebody who is supposed to be a sneaky link, you even have the guts to tell them, oh, take care of my man for the next coming 2 days. The sneaky link now is no longer there.
So
it means now it's an assistant.
Assistant, madam.
Yes.
Our audience is full of people that others already, we do know they already have sneaky links. Maybe they don't even just know the rules to being a sneaky link. Others could be considering having a sneaky link. Others are in relationships with someone that has a sneaky link, and maybe they don't know what to do about that, whether they want to stay or leave or confront their partner about it. Generally, in all of those aspects, your word of advice to that kind of an audience regarding sneaky links.
So regarding sneaky links, my advice is that it's not a good thing. All those people who are considering marriage, if they have got a steady partner, and then they are also involved in issues to do with sneak links, whether men or women, they should cut off their sneak links. If they can't cut off their sneak links, it means their marriage is bound to fail if they are discovered.
Okay.
If they are not discovered, again, the person who is involved in the same issue of sneak links, they won't be living a free life. Sometimes your phone buzzes, you want to catch your phone. Maybe you are thinking that maybe it might be the sneaky link who was, because people this time around are clever. The sneak link is the lady, but they will save them as
John.
boss or supervisor.
The supervisor is calling na kutamangira kwa pasa phone number.
Actually, see, your partner will give you, a supervisor will me to mean.
Yeah.
You see?
I know a story of a lady who changed the husband's sneaky link's name in the phone to her actual name. It's like he saved it. If he saved it as plumber and her name is Jane, she got his phone and then discovered that he's got a girlfriend or a sneaky link by the name of Jane. And then she went and saved it as Jane. So when Jane called, the name appeared as Jane on the phone. The man was traumatized.
Yeah, you see? So that's the downside of it. So for the relationships, and if you're looking at marriage, you need to go in there like with clean hands. Anything to do with sneak links, and this goes both to men and the women, cut them off, and then we will expect to have at least a fulfilled marriage that won't lead to a crashing and what have you.
All right.
So sneak links is not a good thing. I can't advise.
All right. So Mr. Sililo Kayunga is not advising sneaky links, and he's been my guest for today on today's podcast. But what do you think? I know you can. Maybe some of you can say when if you have a sneaky link or you don't. You can, if you have the guts to do it, please tell me in the comments if you have a sneaky link and how are you keeping that. Or it's a kind of relationship too. Also, what rules do you have in your sneaky links relationship? Or if you've got advice for those that want to have a sneaky link, what rules would you advise them to have? Thank you so much for joining us on today's podcast. My name is Ensart Lungu. Until next time.